This is your Daily 5 for Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. As I think we mentioned in one of the last two shows, I'm sure, the theme for May, for our movie watching, is Maybe It Won't Suck. And these are movies that we either don't remember, that we know we liked at one point, or have not seen in so long that it's possible that our opinions on them may have changed. Now, in the case of today's movie, which is 1983's Spacehunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, I did review this for the show in 2009. So it's been almost 2 decades since I've watched this movie. And I think what reminded me of it was Red Letter Media did a review of it, I want to say a year or two ago. I don't even remember if they liked it or not. But this is a movie that when I mentioned it to Lando, he said, oh yeah, I sort of remember that movie. It's got Molly Ringwald in it, right? And yes, it does. This is probably her first major role. She is playing a sidekick character who is 15. This was a year before 16 Candles. So this is one of her first, if not her first major role where she's named and put as, I think she's second billed on it. So the main names you'll know will be Peter Strauss, Molly Ringwald, Ernie Hudson of Ghostbusters, and Michael Ironside of 500,000 Things. And I remembered liking this movie. I don't even remember what my 2009 review was because I didn't go back and listen to it because, oh God, I don't want to listen to something I was recording in 2009. That's 3 years into the show. I'm sure both the audio and my ability to form complete sentences were even worse than they are now. So I did not revisit it, but I always remembered liking this movie when I was younger. But 17 years, lots of things can change from the last time I watched it, whether I liked it or not. And Lando couldn't remember much of anything past Molly Ringwald at all. In fact, we were confusing some elements of this movie with Ice Pirates at one point. But watching it, we both very quickly realized that we were going to like this movie rewatching it now. And it is an absolute delight. This is a great movie. Now, when I say that, the narrative is nothing special. There is nothing in the story of Spacehunter that is going to blow your socks off. You've seen this a lot of times before. If you watch science fiction, you'll likely see it a lot of times after this recording is done. It's just one of these common storylines. Somebody's trapped on a planet. Bad guys got her. Somebody goes in, rescues them. That's it. That's the whole story. And it's the main character is a bit of a rogue who has a past with another character he runs into and discovers this young woman. And at first he's treating her as an irritation, but then the bond is formed and they end up being sidekicks. You know, it's again, nothing special. Everything around the story. That's what's special. There is some of the most wonderful practical work that I remember seeing in science fiction movies of this time. There is virtually nothing that is not done in camera from what I can tell. I mean, they add in laser blasts and some stuff like that. There's some compositing on an early spaceship, but that's about it. There's actual models. There's a lot of miniature work, and even parts where you would expect compositing to create like a space background that, as far as I can tell, was done in camera, that they built the space background, including the planets, and just put the miniature there. And some of it is very obvious. You're going to be able to tell. There is one, though, I will say, particularly well done explosion of a facility at the end that looks fantastic. Godzilla level miniature work there where it just looks sensational. A lot of pyrotechnics, including some that look extremely dangerous, and people who are taking the story and the movie seriously. Great vehicles that they actually built. There is just so much in this of older style, that shows an older style of filmmaking that has largely been replaced by CG, even when it doesn't work nearly as well. So you will feel the weight of what you're seeing in this movie a lot of times because you know it's there. It's one of those things that you just cannot accurately recapture, or at least they haven't so far, with CG in movies. It just never gets that feeling of weight and actual existence the way movies like Spacehunter do. So again, as long as you know that the story is not going to be anything special, and it isn't. It's serviceable. It's not bad. It's not a terrible story. Also, I should mention production design, costuming, all this stuff is really good. Everybody in it is very good because they're taking it seriously. So all of those things are what makes Spacehunter great. So I'm not going to tell you that you're going to come into this movie because it's got a storyline that's going to mesmerize you because it's creative and interesting and has lots of twists. No, the story is not why you're showing up for this movie. The reason you come to something like Spacehunter is because you miss those old science fiction movies and the way they were made. And this movie is going to remind you what we lost and why it's still great to revisit later.